The original tagline for Spider-Man was "The hero who could be you," and when the movie was released in 2002, one of the taglines was "The world needs a hero." I wanted to ask you, when you were creating the original Marvel characters, did you look at the world or the landscape of superheroes and say, this is something that the world needs?
No. I thought it was something I needed to keep my job. No, I forget the order, but I think we had already done the Fantastic Four, I don't know, maybe the Hulk or the X-Men, and my publisher said, come up with something else. So I tried to think, well, what hasn't been done? That's the way you do it. You don't think of what you want to do, you just think of what hasn't been done, and you pick that. And I realized nobody had done anything about an insect crawling on walls who became human. And what happened was I had seen a spider. No, it wasn't a spider. I saw a fly crawling on the wall, and I thought, gee, that would be a great superpower for somebody if they could crawl on walls like an insect. So I figured I would do that. And then I figured, well, I need a name for him. So I thought Insect Man didn't sound dramatic. Fly Man, Mosquito Man. And then I got to Spider-Man. So I thought of that, but I really wasn't thinking of how he would affect the world or how the world would affect him. I was just thinking, I hope I can write a good enough story and the book will sell. I'll tell you a story about that. So I came to my publisher and I said, I got this great idea. I want to do a teenage hero. There hasn't been any yet. I want him to have a lot of personal problems, and I want to call him Spider-Man. My publisher said to me, this was the darkest moment in my life. My publisher said to me, that is the worst idea I have ever had. He said, first of all, you can't call a hero Spider-Man because people hate spiders. He said, you can't make him a teenager. A teenager can only be a sidekick. And you can't let him have personal problems. Don't you know what a superhero is? So I walked out of the office with my tail between my legs. And a little bit later, we had a magazine that we were killing called Amazing Fantasy. Now, when you kill a magazine, nobody cares what you put in the last issue, because you're killing it. That's the last issue. Who cares? So to get it out of my system, I put Spider-Man in the last issue of Amazing Fantasy. I featured him on the cover, and I forgot about it. About a month or two later, after all the sales figures came in for the magazines, my publisher called me, and he said, hey, Stan, do you remember that Spider-Man character of yours that we both liked so much? Why don't we do a series? Because he found out that had been the best-selling book of the month for us, the one that featured Spidey on the cover. And I'm sorry I gave you such a long-winded answer. I tend to